Well, hello everybody and welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Today I'm going to make a very simple recipe. This is going to be pistachio and cherry no-churn ice cream. So we're going to cook some cherries into a thickish syrup, let it cool down, and then that will be able to be swirled into our no-churn ice cream. And the ice cream is going to be flavoured with some pistachio butter, which basically is just ground raw pistachios, which are ground into a thick paste, and then you continue to grind them until they become spreadable and sort of slightly oily. And that is going to be mixed into our ice cream mixture, and then some pistachios chopped up and mixed into the ice cream as well. So it's actually a very easy recipe. And it doesn't take much effort, but you do have to wait for the cherry mixture to cool down before you can make the ice cream. So I'll go on to the ingredients. And for this, I have here 450 grams, which is just about £1, slightly under, but just about £1 of frozen cherries. And I have a combination of black cherries and red cherries, and I've let those thaw out. And I've cut them up a little bit as well, quite a few of them, because I want them to break down a bit as we cook them. And I'm going to cook those with 100 grams, which is half a cup of caster sugar, and a pinch of salt, and the zest of 1 lemon. And then to thicken it, I have 45 millilitres, which is 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, and 18 grams, which is 2 tablespoons of corn flour. And then for the ice cream, I have 600 millilitres, which is 2.5 cups of double cream or heavy cream, 397 grams, which is about 14 ounces of condensed milk. I have 56 grams, about half a cup of pistachios, which I have chopped up into relatively small pieces. You can chop them as finely as you want. And here is my 4 tablespoons, 60 millilitres of pistachio butter. And as I've said, basically you take pistachios like this and you grind them down until they become just nice and floppy and loose like that, which you can easily spread. And so that's all the ingredients. And the first thing I'm going to do is to make our cherry compote stroke syrup, which we're going to swirl into the ice cream. And to do that, I'm going to put my cherries, and you can see they've released a lot of liquid already as they've thawed out. So I put those into a pan, and I'm going to add in my sugar, my salt, and my lemon zest. And then I'm just going to give those a mix around. And they're going to go on the heat, but before I do that, I'll get my corn flour mixture ready. So I'm going to pour my lemon juice into the corn flour, and I'm simply going to stir that until I have a smooth paste. And that's good enough. So I'm going to put these cherries onto the heat, and I'm going to put them onto the heat and bring them up to the boil. So I have my cherries on the heat, and I'm going to bring them to the boil, and then I'm going to let them boil for 5 minutes. So as you can see, my cherries have now started to boil, and I'm just going to let those boil like that for 5 minutes. And having let those boil for 5 minutes, I'm going to pour in my lemon and corn flour mixture, and I'm going to cook that for 1 minute, stirring the whole time. You have to stir the whole time, otherwise the corn flour is likely to go lumpy. And this is now thickening very well indeed. And that's good like that. So I'm going to turn off the heat, and I'm going to put that into a bowl and leave it to cool down. So that's in a bowl, and I'm just going to leave that now until it is completely cool. And once it's cool, I will come back and we will make the ice cream and put these cherries into it. So I've allowed my cherries in that thick syrup to cool down. So I'm going to go on to make the ice cream. So I'll put my 600 millilitres of cream into a bowl. I'm going to add into that my pistachio butter. Now, I should say that you can buy pistachio butter. I know that a couple of the supermarkets in the UK sell it, and there's lots of places online where you can buy it. But I made my own, as I mentioned, just by processing raw pistachios until it formed the butter. You could also use pistachio cream, which I know Marks and Spencer's sell, although that's quite expensive, but you can get that at Costco much cheaper in a larger jar, and that contains pistachios and other things, so it's a lovely flavour, but it's not quite the same. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to whisk this until it resembles stiff peaks. And that's just about stiff peaks, so that's good enough. And I'm actually just going to have a taste of that. Yes, you can definitely taste the pistachio. So then I'm going to put into that my condensed milk. I'm going to whip it again. So that's whisked well enough now. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put most of my nuts in, and I'm just going to give that a whisk. Like that. And then I'm going to put that into my containers. I'm going to start off with this one, and I'm going to spoon some of my mixture in, like that. And then I'm going to put some of my cherries in. And if you don't use all the cherries, you can use the remainder to sweeten your porridge or something in the morning, or your muesli or whatever. And I'll put some more cherries on that, and then I'm just going to take a knife and run that through a little bit. Just like that. And sprinkle over some of my remaining pistachios. And I'm just going to clean the edge of the container. And I'm going to put my lid on. And that's ready to go into the freezer. So I have some small pots here, and I'm going to fill those as well. And I'll show you what they look like once I've filled them. So I've filled 4 of my containers with the ice cream, the cherries and the pistachios, and I'm simply going to cover the last one like that and put my lid on the larger container, and I'm going to put that into the fridge. I'm actually going to air seal this one. And I'm going to put those into the freezer, and I'm going to freeze them for at least 8 hours. In fact, I'm going to freeze mine overnight. So then I'll come back tomorrow, take the larger container out of the freezer and rest it on the counter for 5 to 10 minutes so that I can then serve some, and I'll have a taste and tell you what I think. So it's the next morning now, and my ice cream has been in the freezer overnight, so it's frozen quite nicely. I've taken one of the small pots out of the freezer and I've put it onto the counter, and it's been there for about 10 minutes. So it's softened up a little bit, so I'll show you what that looks like. As you can see, I've already taken some out and tasted it. So I have a taste, making sure I get some of the cherry and the pistachio. That's very, very good. The ice cream is lovely and rich, and it has a pistachio flavour because of that pistachio butter. And then the sweet yet tartness of the cherries with the lemon juice in it. And then the texture of those pieces of pistachio as well that are folded through the ice cream and then more on top. So this is a very easy recipe, and it doesn't take much effort at all. You just have to be patient and allow it to freeze. So that's going to be it for this recipe. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up below and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there'll be an eye that you can click on, and that will take you to a link for the recipe, and I'll put a link below the video as well, and I'll be back with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.